session we have seen how do we resize, how to convert gray to color or color to gray. So all the pre-processing task was handled in the previous section. Whereas in this section we prepare the data for training and testing. So the first task would be create the data store with labels. Means we need to label the images. What is this image? What is this image? So that once we predict, the category names also will be assigned to these labels. So again we follow the image data store concept. Path to the images will be provided. We include even the subfolders and we provide the label source, which is supposed to be the folder names, if assuming each folder is different category. Now we have to extract new labels, in a sense that is all the labels of the flowers what we are considering needs to be assigned to the variable flower names. So that is in the second task. So remember, we are just preparing the training data and testing data. So the first task is we are creating the data store with labels. Initially in the previous section we had just created the data store, but here we create the data store with labels. So those labels are created in the first task, and once created, those label names are assigned to the flower names variable. So the next task would be splitting this data store for training and testing. So the flower train and flower test is what we are considering as the training data set and testing data set. We use a command split each label. So that too we divide it in the ratio of 60%. So 0.6 means we are initiating it as 60%. So 60% would be training, remaining 40% would go for testing data set. Or if we want to do it randomly, then we use split each label flowers as 80% for training and remaining would be 20% for testing, and we mention a keyword called as randomize, which will randomly pick the images from each label and assign 80% to train and assign remaining 20% for testing data set. If we want to split the data store by the number of images, because not necessarily all categories, say we have roses 100 but lilies only 80 and daisies 70, like this we have uneven numbered figures or we have uneven numbered images, but this should not bias the detection or prediction of the classes. So we will mention how many number of images should go for training and testing of each label. So once you say to avoid the biasing, testing can happen. Maybe we use only 5 images of daisy, 10 images of rose or 3 images of lily. Testing we can have uneven numbers which doesn't bias the result, but training needs to have each class label equal numbers to avoid the biasing towards one particular category. For that we mention how many number of inputs to be used from each class label for training. So I say flowers category for training and testing, split the each label, that is 50 images of each category needs to go for training. Remaining however is there, we can use it for testing, or we can reuse the images to make sure the numbers are equal, that is leftovers. But if we have uneven number of category labels in the data set, so it is mandatory to avoid biasing, we set the number of images to be used for training from each particular class. Then so once the training data set is ready, we need to load it to the network and do the predictions. If we want to modify the network, initially we need to understand how is the network there, which we have already done in the previous sections. So now I will try in a simple manner to modify a network layer, that is I use a command fully connected layer with 12 neurons. So whatever the number we mentioned here, with that many neurons a fully connected layer will be developed automatically. So FC is a fully connected layer with 12 neurons. This layer I will replace with the existing AlexNet 23rd layer in the next task. So if I have 25 layers, out of which I am choosing a 23rd layer, you can choose any layer if you want to see the difference. So I choose a 23rd layer. So layers of 23 will be replaced with this fully connected layer of 12 neurons. Or I want to replace a last layer in the neural network, then say layers n, and classification layer is the keyword what I assign. So the end layer would be replaced with the classification layer. So this is how in a simple manner we modify the network, but however we need to set the training options. So we have in one single command all options will be available called as training options. So this would be the keyword what we go for training options changes. So setting training options, for that if you want to initialize the learning rate, how fast it should learn, so you can mention whatever the learning rate you want. This number 0.001 we will learn and we will set based on our experience how the output is modifying, how the neural networks are behaving with respect to the training data set. So it is purely based on the application how we choose this initial learning rate. Initially we will keep very less so that it will learn better. So options, training options, initial learn rate to 0.01. Then we evaluate the performances by, as usual we need to know the loss. So say plot information from the training loss. So once you plot the training loss, you will identify how much is the loss in the maintained neural network. Then we can go back to the previous neural network stages and modify the layers or modify the learning net or modify the activation function, whatever it is, to improve the performance, and again come back over here and plot the training loss and make sure we improve stage by stage. And finally we classify using that data set and by loading the test images. So until this particular step we did the predictions only with the training data. So all data set was used for training, never we have tested the neural network. Whereas in this particular task we load the test images to the neural network and then we classify and make the predictions. After the predictions are done, we will investigate the performance what it has been done. So we will identify the prediction labels, whether predictions labels are matching with the actual labels. So for that we just assign them whether to identify are they equal or not. If how many are exactly equal is used identified in the next task, that is test images dot labels. These labels are compared with actual labels. Now once we have compared, we use this NNZ, that is counting concept, for how many are equal, that is predicted and the actual one. We continue to count and identify how many are correct. So once we identify how many are correct, we can calculate the fraction of correct, that is say maybe 80 were roses, in that 70 are identified correctly. So 70 by 80 if I mention, we will get the fraction as 90% or 95%, what percentage we have predicted correctly. So this is just to identify what is the percentage of correct predictions, or I can say the accuracy of prediction. Now instead of doing this calculation for each and every category, I am speaking just with 3 categories, that is Daisy, Lily and Rose. Provided if we have 25 categories or 100 categories, we cannot repeat these steps for each and every category. Instead we go with the confusion matrix. We display the confusion chart which shows for each and every class how many are the actual predictions and how many are correct. So we go with test images dot labels and flower predictions. These two are the inputs for the confusion chart, which displays the confusion matrix with category versus category. Say I have 10 classes, then 10 cross 10 will be plotted and you will be seeing the confusion chart on the command window, which will display how many each category has been predicted correctly. Maybe we identify roses 70 out of 80 correctly, but whereas Lily all 50 out of 50 we would have identified correctly. Daisy we would have identified 40 out of 40 itself. Like that each class how much perfectly or accurately we are identifying will be displayed in the confusion chart. So not necessary to perform all these 3 steps every time, for each category to or each class to understand.